YouTube, what is going on, people? We are back with the post-match for Liverpool versus Arsenal game from Anfield. And guys, what an amazing match it was. It was really such a great performance from the Liverpool team. Let's jump across to the tactics screen. As you can see, the full-time result is there, which was 3-1 to Liverpool. Your scorers were Matip and Salah with 2. Matip getting the first one just on the halfway, just on the half-time mark. I think, if I remember correctly, it was like 43 minutes, something like that. I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm thinking of another game, but no, I think it was about that. I apologise if that is misleading information. So guys, let's get straight into it. I've left it. If you saw my preview, go and watch the preview. It's about 15-20 minutes long, but I break down basically why I think Klopp plays this midfield, this midfield three, not the one you see on the pitch at the moment on the screen. If you swap out Milner and Henderson, Klopp loves the Henderson, Fabinho and Wijnaldum midfield three. That is his go-to midfield, and I explain why that is his go-to midfield. And for some reason, I see Liverpool supporters posting here, posting there about, oh, we need to put this attacking midfielder in there. Wijnaldum shouldn't start, and Henderson shouldn't start. You know, Fabinho is the only one that everyone can agree on. Is definitely a starter. I don't know what it is. Maybe I feel like fans want to see a lot more sort of suave and skill and ability in there, like we see from City with KDB. Everyone wants that exciting aspect from midfield, and Klopp doesn't play like that. Klopp has a workhorse midfield, and they're stoppers. They stop the opposition from playing. They stop KDB from doing through balls. They stop Silva from getting in between your back four and the midfield three. They stop those players. They deem them ineffective. And then in what they do is on breaking up the play from the opposition midfield, they supply the ball into our attackers. Not necessarily with a pinpoint KDB style pass. They just link the play, a simple pass, you know. And then Firmino will assist Salah, or Salah assist Mane, or Mane assist Firmino, or Firmino assist Mane. That's how it goes. It's rare that, you know, an assist comes from our midfield. And, you know, I guess, you know, Firmino had a wonderful assist for Salah against Arsenal in this game to make it 3-1, I think it was. So yeah, guys, let's just jump straight into it. You can see the Arsenal side there. This is the one they put out in a diamond formation. Sky Sports had it down as like a 4-3-1-2 thing, but I think it was more of a diamond. Arguably, yeah, I guess, you know, 4-3-1-2 is a diamond shape. Although you could say it's a diamond 4-4-2. There's many a names. So yeah, guys, they had Pepe at the back with Luis, Motm left back, Maitland-Niles right back, Xhaka holding, Guendouzi, Willock the workers, and Ceballos as the kind of creative type midfielder. Pepe right forward and Aubameyang left forward. Lacazette on the bench with a few of the others. Henrik Mkhitaryan, Torreira, Chambers, Nelson, Martinez and Kolasinac were on the bench. For Liverpool, let me just organise the team. Now, there's only one change really. My starting lineup, I went with Adrian, Van Dijk, Matip, Alexander Arnold, Robertson. I went with Milner. I just thought Milner was going to start, but he didn't. It was in fact Henderson. We can just make that change here right now. So Henderson came in and Milner took his place on the bench. So across our midfield was Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum, and then obviously our front three of Mane, Firmino and Salah. And this is Klopp's first choice team. Every game in the league, if he can field this team, this is the team he's probably going to field. But although he does need to make everybody happy and keep everybody happy. Basically people please. Because you have Shaqiri, you have Lallana, you have Ox, you have Keita, you have those guys on the bench, you have Gomez on the bench, you have Lovren, he has a squad and he has to keep his squad happy. So for lower sides of the league, you probably will see Ox coming for a Genie. But when he's in a top of the league clash, this is the team you're absolutely going to see, without a shadow of a doubt. Cup matches and stuff, you'll definitely see Klopp the Tinkerman at work, for sure. So guys, yeah, that was the starting lineups for both sides. Yeah, as I said, Matip opening scoring for us, and then there was the penalty, the Luis pullback on Salah. No doubt, always a penalty. Not even an argument. I was reading on Twitter about some people saying that it wasn't a foul. Really? Are you for real? Like, come on, guys. You're having an absolute laugh. It's all day long a penalty. I don't even know why I done it. It's one of them. It's instinctive though, isn't it? Like, you don't even know you done it. Like, I know what it means, because I've been in that position. Not that I've pulled his shirt, but not in the area. I mean, you know, when someone's just got the edge of you and your hand kind of goes out, it's a tug. It's a natural reflex, and it's quite hard when you're so accustomed to doing it. Especially as a Brazilian in the South American leagues, like, they do that stuff all the time, like little tug pulls and shirts and kick at the ankles and step on the foot, all the little dirty tricks that you could do back in the day. You can't do them now that VAR is here, so he's gonna have to somehow eradicate that from his game, which I don't think he's gonna have major problems with. But yeah, so that was penalty, and wonderful strike from Salah. Jesus Christ, right in the top bin. Immaculate penalty. That's one of the best penalties I've seen in a long time, without being a flash wanker about it either. Literally, like, simple run up. Well, I say simple, he loves his curved run ups, and then just bang, top bin. That is much harder than a little dink, kind of cheeky, bouncy, you know, that just takes little dinky, bouncy, you know, one that just trickles into the corner. Yeah, it's just flash as fuck, but it's a lot easier than pinging it like full pelt in the top left corner. Unbelievable. And I think his penalty taking has improved so much. I'm actually confident now when I see him step up to take a penalty. Excellent, absolutely excellent. And then obviously his last goal, Salah, you know, skinning Luis. Luis can't touch him because he's on a yellow. Perfect, just, you know, makes complete sense. And then he's always going to score, just bends it past Bernard Leno in goal for Arsenal with ease. Like, fantastic. Yeah, it seems like VVD has lost his unbeaten run. Pepe seems to have done it, although I disagree. I'm sorry guys, I disagree. It states on Opta that it has to end in an attack. There wasn't an attack. Pepe didn't end in an attack. In fact, Arsenal lost the ball, or Pepe passed it back and then someone else lost it, or it was intercepted, something like that. So personally, I personally don't believe he beat VVD one-on-one. I don't think he beat him. VVD caught up and he was there. You didn't beat him. The nutmeg on Trent Alexander-Arnold, the one that Wijnaldum done on Willock, that is how you beat a man. That is how you beat a man. A successful dribble is basically a minimum of 3 touches. You can't beat someone with 1 touch, right? You can touch the ball into space, but I don't think your first touch and the ball goes past the player and then you run past him is you dribbling past him. I don't think that's an actual dribble past him, in my opinion. I think when you dribble, you stop the ball, so your first touch is control, right? Your second one is usually a pass, right? Most footballers have 2 touch, right? So your second one is a pass, right? If it's not a pass, then you're gonna move it. You're gonna move it onto your left, or you're gonna switch it to the right, and that's when I consider it a dribble. If your second pass, your second touch isn't a pass, then it then becomes a dribble. So now you're now dribbling, right? So, for instance, like when Trent Alexander got nutmegged, it was control, and then the second touch was a nutmeg, was the ball through his legs, he got around Trent and then he controlled it. That's the third touch. So for me, it's a minimum of 3 touches that counts as a dribble. That's just the way I see football. Like, you can all these stats and what is considered dribbling or is not. Like, I'm sorry, if I'm marking someone and he's got his back to me, I'm marking, I'm behind, I'm a centre back, and he controls the ball and goes out and kind of pushes the ball out to the left side of the pitch. Let's say I'm a left centre back. No, let's say I'm a left full back, and the guy on the winger I'm marking receives the ball with his back to me. I'm behind him, and he kind of controls it with his right foot, and he kind of touches it to the left side a little bit, and then he turns and faces me, but I'm still there. That's, for me, you've not beaten me. You've not beaten, even if you slightly go forward in front of me, but I catch up and make up, and then I'm side on defending against you. You've not beaten me. That is not, I don't see that as a dribble. You've not dribbled past me. A dribble past is what Salah done to Luis. That is a dribble. The first touch, he controlled it. The second touch was a little shimmy cut type thing to draw in Luis, and then when Luis came in, the third touch put it around Luis, and then you run in behind, and then he scored. That, it finished in an offensive maneuver, whether it's an assist or whether it's a goal. That is a dribble pass, and if you can look up Opta, and that's what it says. So in my opinion, he wasn't beaten. It's no different to what Jesus done to VVD, and that wasn't considered a dribble pass. Anyways, I find the stat hilarious, and I just wanted to go on because I want to take the piss, to be honest. I don't even know where it all come from. I don't even know why. It's hilarious, but it is what it is, isn't it? And the thing is, I don't want VVD to worry about it so much that he starts playing for that and not just defend. Just do what you do and just defend. Because then it becomes a distraction. It'll be like, there should be times, it will get to stages where it should be times where he should just tackle, or he can tackle, but he doesn't because he's worrying about being beaten. And I don't want that to be the case. People say, he doesn't challenge enough, or this, that, and the other. Man, like, he challenges the right time. He waits for the moment. You got to beat him. No one looks like they want to take him on. And holding up and waiting for your backup, there's nothing wrong with that. You hold up the man, jockey him, force him to beat you, you know. And the thing is, once backup arrives, and then, you know, Robertson's back, Xander's back, Matip's back, Fabinho's back, Wijnaldum, and you got to start all over again and get past that fucking super midfield, you know. That 8-man wall. You got to get past the 8-man wall all over again. Makes no sense. So, but yeah, it is what it is. So guys, the substitutes was Origi, Shaqiri, Milner, Lallana, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Gomez, and our goalkeeper, Kalman Kelleher. That name always gets me. But that was our sub-goalkeeper, dropped from the squad. Obviously, they played in the under-23s recently that beat Southampton 4-2, I think it was. 4-2 or 4-3. The under-23s. It was Ryan Brewster, Keanu Hoover, who had an excellent game against Southampton, actually, to be honest. He was brilliant down that right side. Trent, watch out, because there's another one coming through. LaRouche had a decent game. No sign of Dejan Lovren. He might have been on the bench, I don't know. And Harvey Elliott came on. He had a good account of himself. He came off at half time. He came off about 15-20 minutes from the end. So yes, all those guys didn't make it to didn't make it into the squad against Arsenal on the weekend. Still out injured is Alisson. I did think he was going to have a surprise comeback against Arsenal, but wasn't required, and he didn't. And I hope he's back for maybe Burnley or after the international break. I reckon Adrian will stay in for Burnley, and then Alisson will return after the international break. He won't be away with Brazil, obviously, because he's injured. So yeah, Naby Keita is also out injured still. Hopefully he returns after the international break, but I'm not really sure on the actual damage, the amount of damage he's done, or how long he's out for, to be honest with you guys. So yes, it was a much required victory. It was good, brilliant. In fact, shut them Arsenal fans up. They was proper hyping up before this game. Yeah, Aubameyang, Pepe, and Lacazette. Yeah, whatever, Lacazette. You know, like, he should have gone with Pepe, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. Everyone's saying that now that they can see the result of what the team that, you know, Unai Emery did put out. But I think trying to match us in a game that we've been playing for the past 3-4 years, I think it might have ended worse, because you're going to have Lacazette, Aubameyang and Pepe. You're going to have one less man in midfield. Willock, let's face it, that's the first time I saw Willock play in the Arsenal side. I'm not an Arsenal supporter, so that makes sense. But I've never seen him play before, and he's going to play against, you know, double finalists of the Champions League and, you know, winners of the Champions League, winners of the Super Cup, who have played in this formation for, like, you know, 3 to 4 years, and you're going to throw in Willock and Guendouzi, who's been at the club 1 year, or 1 season rather, and then Xhaka, and expect to beat us. I think if you'd have gone with a 4-3-3, Arsenal would have absolutely got hammered. You would have. I think it was smart that you sat back and tried to play on a counter-attack, and actually nearly got something. I mean, Pepe should have put one away, and Aubameyang probably should have, you know, lobbed the keeper, got that on target. But that was a difficult chance. It weren't easy. The ball was moving. He chested it down, and to get it right. And Matip was kind of there. He had a bit of, you know, he's a bit worried about Matip. If you don't get it perfect, Matip will clear it. You know, so it wasn't the easiest of chances. I mean, Pepe's one, after the Henderson mistake, that kind of fell in his path. Pepe kind of should have done something with that. I think he should have scored. But his shooting he's continued that kind of form of shooting from the African nations, to be honest. He missed a few big chances in that competition. And yeah, there's been no change. So he really needs to work on that. Salahs was just missing, you know, he didn't know what he was doing. Lots of mistakes from him. He had a great game prior to this as well against Burnley. But hey, that's Burnley. That's not Liverpool. That's Burnley you're playing against, you know. Guendouzi, I don't know about Guendouzi. Like, I don't really rate their midfield at all. I don't really rate Guendouzi. Willock looks decent. Xhaka, he's sometime-ish, you know. Torreira's the one, I think. I think Torreira's the one that needs to be in the side. I think probably Torreira should have maybe gone alongside Willock on the other side, where Guendouzi is. Drop Guendouzi and play Torreira, Xhaka holding, or make Xhaka box to box and then play Torreira at the bottom of the diamond. I don't know. You guys know Arsenal better than I know. If any of you are watching, you know. But yeah, you got Monreal. You got Bellerin to come back still, and then who? Kolasinac? No, not Kolasinac. Your left back. Oh, what's his name now? I can't remember. Torreira came on, scored the goal. Consolation, you got stronger. We had weakened our side, made substitutions. Our substitutions was James Milner coming on in the 69th minute for Wijnaldum. Roberto Firmino coming off on the 86th minute for Adam Lallana, and Sadio Mane coming off 77th minute for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So actually our whole, well, yeah, half of our front three, barring Salah, you know, came off and was freshened up. So we was weaker, and we already had a 3-1 lead. Yeah, really, no, 3-0 lead at the time. So, and we really dropped off. We was at home, we was comfortable, and in fairness, the goal came from nothing. There was a few ricochets. It kind of fell in Torreira's path. Keeper was blindsided and he slotted it away. You should really be scoring that. But yeah, I thought it was always comfortable. You know, there wasn't really much else happening. I didn't think we would ever relinquish a 3-0 lead. I end up drawing 3-3. That would have been absolutely abysmal. I could never see it happening. Just didn't make sense. So yeah, guys. My predicted man of the match was Mane. Actually, he had one of his quiet games, and I think the man of the match was actually Matip. I thought he played the best. I thought he was an absolute warrior in there today, and he got the goal. I argued on Twitter with a few people who are talking about comparing Matip to Laporte, to Maguire, and to another centre back who's really irrelevant. Can't remember now. And it was basically who's the best out of those. And I'm sorry, but I actually think Matip. I actually think Liverpool's defence. I'm not being biased, but I kind of am, sort of thing. But it's hard not to be. I actually think the back four is the best back four in the Premiership. I think we have the two best centre backs in the Premier League. Right? I think Matip is better than Laporte. I wouldn't take Laporte over Matip. I just wouldn't. I think he's better on the ball. I think the only thing is maybe physicality. I think Laporte is really physical and maybe scores a few more goals. But Matip is adding goals to his game now. But I think dribbling on the ball, moving into the centre circle, I think his awareness, I think his defensive, I just think he's a better defender. I think he's got more plus points than what Laporte has. Yeah, I just do. So I do think he is the second best. I think VVD is first best, and I think Matip is second best in the league. I think those two are the best centre backs in the league right now, current form, without a doubt. And then we have the best left back and the best right back. So it makes sense to why we had the best defence last season, because they are the best. And I don't even think Van Dijk is playing that great at the moment. I think Matip has upped his game. And he's actually playing better than Van Dijk in a minute. But Van Dijk makes everything look so effortless. You've become accustomed to just naturally seeing it, you know? You see? So, yeah. So guys, it was a wonderful win at Anfield. With 2 points clear of Man City, who beat Bournemouth. An amazing free kick from Harry Wilson. Let me quickly talk about Harry Wilson a little bit. Everyone's saying about, oh yeah, we should bring Harry Wilson back and get him involved in the squad. Now, this kid's like 22, 23, he needs game time. I think he's fantastic that he's at. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think it's a good thing that he's at Bournemouth. He's going to get game time, he's going to come on. He's going to get that Premiership quality. Like, if he wasn't at that team, if he hadn't gone out on loan, what would he be doing? He'd be sitting on the bench trying to make the first team squad. We've got Lallana, we've got Milner. You know, he's not going to get in over anybody else. I mean, arguably, he's doing more bits than all three of them. Barring Milner, I think he's doing... if he was in our squad for these games, I think he's probably as good as Lallana now, and maybe better. He can do everything Lallana does and probably a bit more, right? Especially with those free kicks. That's something we absolutely miss in our side. Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think he could be on a par with Oxlade-Chamberlain. But I think they're quite a similar type of player. I think in 2 or 3 years' time, Wilson could definitely be, and this is going to sound crazy, but a new school, modern style Steven Gerrard. Like, I can see Gerrard traits in him. That centre midfield type role, attacking midfielder. Whether you play him out on a wing or what, it'll be down to Klopp's decision. But I could see him playing a bit more like a KDB. And I think that's a modern centre midfielder now. Modern version of box-to-box centre midfielder. And I think he could be that good. I think he could be better than Oxlade-Chamberlain. I do. And he can shoot. The boy can fucking shoot. I tell you, he can bang. He can absolutely bang. It's ridiculous. So, but guys, like, you know, it's all about experience and being part of a system, and you have to fit into that system. And this is exactly why we didn't sign Bruno Fernandes and we didn't sign Coutinho back, and we sold Coutinho in the first place. One, because of the huge wages, and Klopp was able to build the squad and get the players he wanted to bring us to where we are today. But at the same time, Coutinho didn't have that physicality that Klopp wanted in his midfield. He had the assists, but Klopp don't care about that, because the assists are in our front three and our wing backs. That's where our assists come from, and our creativity. Like, we're always creating. You know, I was also listening to the Kloppish with my boy Drifty and my boy Matt that I always watch on a regular basis. And Callum is a lovely lad. You know, and Drifty's talking about Liverpool not taking shots and stuff. I mean, come on, bro, did you watch the game? You know, didn't you see where Firmino scooped up the ball over the defender's head? I think it was Guendouzi or Xhaka, and then he went to smash it. That was a shot. You know, Robertson had some shots as well. He had a shot. Mane had a cracker that flew over. We're always shooting. What game are you watching, bruv? What game are you watching? And the thing is, you need to build up pressure around your opponent's box. You know, you keep switching the ball left to right. You build up the pressure. Eventually, you'll cause a slip in concentration from the defensive opposition, and a gap will open. And then you just find and penetrate that gap. It's what City do. It's just, and Man United used to do it under Ferguson. You just switch in the play. You switch to play, and the other team is just trying to concentrate so hard not to leave any gaps. Eventually, what happens? They leave a gap, and that's when you strike. And that's all it is. And that's why if you go and shoot all the time, you don't build up that pressure to cause a team to lack in concentration. That's all it is. So it's not always good to shoot. Also, do you have somebody that's going to roast one in, you know, from a good few yards away from the D that's on the edge of the box? No. If you can get in and around the D or just inside the area, then yeah, crack it. But if you're trying to shoot from like near the halfway line or like halfway between the halfway line and the D, are you for real? You're not serious. So if you listen or you hear this, Drift, come on, bro. We did have shots. Otherwise, I agree with everything you say, to be honest. I think you bang on. And I like listening to you, and I watch you on a regular. So, and you know this, and you know I always write my big ass fat conversations, my comment in the comment section. So, yeah, if any of you want to read about what I have to say, and you're familiar with the Klopps channel, yeah, just go. I usually leave comments. You can look for them if you want to look for them. But yeah, back to Wilson. If next season we get rid of Lallana or we get rid of Milner, I think Milner will stay for another season or even two, to be honest. Definitely. But we'll just probably use him a little less. However, that would be the time that Wilson, you know, stays with us, which means no new signings. If Klopp thinks, I think Wilson could deal with Lallana's place. But at 23 years old, does he want to be coming on as a bit part man, or does he want real game time? Because if he wants real match game time, then he's gonna be coming on. He's gonna be coming on like, you know, as much as Lallana. And Lallana doesn't even make the squad. He's only in the squad because Keto is injured. He don't even make the squad, so Wilson wouldn't even be in the squad. That's why he's out on loan. Klopp values him, and he doesn't want him to get unhappy. He doesn't want him to rot. He wants him to, you know, to do something. So I don't know. I just don't. It's no point. It's just no point in him. It makes no sense, guys. So I can see why he's not involved and he's gone out on loan. And I think that's best for him. I think that's best. Because it'll be wasted. What, bring him on? He doesn't want to sit there on the bench and come on in like... How many games is he going to come... Like, think about it. It was the same thing. If you saw my preview, I talked about the signing of Bruno Fernandes, right, if we was to get him. And also Coutinho, if he was to come back. I said, when we're winning a game, right, unless we're comfortable winning a game, or it's a tight game and it's like 70th minute, you won't bring on attacking players. Like Klopp starts with the midfield you see right there now. Henderson, Fabinho and Wijnaldum. That is his midfield. He starts with that midfield. He don't start with no other midfield unless he's certain he'll win with another midfield. Point blank. End of story, right? So if we're playing City or any of the top six, Bruno Fernandes ain't starting. He ain't starting. Coutinho ain't starting because they're creative midfielders. They come on to change the game. Like, if we start the game with these three you see now on the pitch, right, and we go 2-3-0 up, why are you bringing on a creative midfielder? What is the point? The prime example was against Arsenal in this game. Like, he brings on Ox at what stage? 77th minute. And he brings on Ox because it's safe, right? And I'm bringing on Ox and Lallana, we concede. So there's my point, right? Now, if this is a final or something, why he's not going to do that? Them men are getting like 5 minutes towards the end. So this is why we didn't sign Bruno Fernandes, because he's not going to be a starter in the side. Yeah, just like Keita isn't, just like Shaqiri isn't, just like Chamberlain isn't. But we signed them because they can come in and change the game, and that's exactly it. He has his midfield. When his midfield isn't right, yeah, he will alternate it. He does alternate. He will alternate it. He'll change it up a little bit. No, if one of those guys is injured, the first person that comes in is Milner, and then it might be Keita or Oxlade-Chamberlain. But Milner definitely comes in. If Fabinho's injured, Henderson drops to the 6 or Wijnaldum drops to the 6, and then maybe Keita comes in or Ox comes in. And all of those players are similar, but the Ox and Keita are more kind of attacking. They got like a little bit more of an attacking edge to them. But they also do the graft work and a bit of defensive work. But they're not. I don't think they're as good defensively as Henderson, Fabinho and Wijnaldum. I just don't. And I don't think they link play as good as those three either. I just don't. I think the final third, they are better than those three. Certainly, without a doubt. But you don't always need them in there because you have the best three strikers in the world at the moment. And that's Mane, Firmino and Salah. So it makes no sense. So why are you signing Bruno Fernandes? He wants to come, you're going to pay 80 million for him, and he's going to sit on the bench and get what? 15 minutes every game? And also there's contracts. Like players have to play a certain amount of games a season. So it's contracts to think about as well. So there's a lot of reasons why we didn't re-sign Coutinho or Bruno Fernandes. It makes complete sense. Like, he wouldn't even get much game time because he wouldn't be a starter. It would be like Keita. That's how often he'd play. I'm telling you, he was never going to come. Even though I wanted him, but we're not going to pay 80 million for that. For Care would have been a good option because then he would have come in, you know, and he was only like what, 80 million. Where did he go to? Betis? I don't even know. I can't remember. So that would have been better for us. Something like that, but he has the funny knee problem, and Klopp, the way his team is set out, he needs injury-free players, you know. And even Ox, he's taking his time with Ox now. He's had that big injury. He needs to take his time with him and really, you know, wean him in again slowly, like a new signing, as he keeps saying. You know, that's how he's got to treat it. But everybody else, like any sign of injuries and stuff with signings, he pulls out the deal. Like no. Didn't like, something told him no, don't worry about that for Care thing. And he's like, forget it. Apparently we weren't linked with Pepe, so that Anfield fucking egghead agenda says. But I think we was linked with Pepe, but I don't think we was prepared to pay for the money that they wanted. And also he weren't going to start. He wants to start, so he walks into an Arsenal side. Gets a certain amount of games he always plays, etc, etc, and he's probably on decent wages, and they wanted to pay the money, so that's why I think he went there. Otherwise, yeah, I do think we were interested in him, and he seems like a really, really good player. He just needs to work on his finishing. So yeah, I definitely think Harry Wilson is one for the future. Maybe next season he'll be given a chance, or the season after, but he's going to want to be playing. He's 22, 23 now, something like that. He's going to want to be playing games. So anyway guys, it's been the Red Mr. LFC Ninja. What a victory for Liverpool at Anfield. Like I said, takes us 2 points clear of Manchester City in second and on to Burnley. We'll see you soon guys. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, share. Follow me on Twitter. Peace guys.